Rousimar Palhares, one of the scariest people to ever enter combat sports. Probably the last person of his kind that we will see. I think that they'll take this kind of person more seriously in the future, and I don't think they want another one. Rousimar Palhares was a roided out gorilla that used to absolutely obliterate people's legs in UFC as well as in grappling competitions such as ADCC. The guy was banned from multiple sports organizations, including the UFC, for one particularly heinous break and an outside Ashi heel hook, as well as World Series of Fighting. I think he moved there afterwards because he was a star. People really like watching a violent guy like this. They kind of love to hate him. But his technique that everybody thinks he uses is a heel hook, and he did use a lot of heel hooks. Very, very slick entries, honestly very good mechanics, and because he's so big, people think he was just doing really untechnical things, right? They think that he was just grabbing onto things and ripping them. But he actually really did some innovative things, and what he brought to the table that was different and was really his favorite submission was a thing called a heel knee bar. So a heel knee bar comes out of, let's have you on your hip real quick. A heel knee bar actually comes from a flaw in the ashigarami, okay? So when we get an ashigarami, we want to get this outside heel hook, and we need a bend in the leg. So when I go down to the floor, I need Juice's leg bent at some capacity so that I can break it, right? But when he's completely flexing his leg straight, and then he's able to actually turn a little bit this way, and he changes the angle of the lock. Now, if I try to break a regular heel hook here, it doesn't work, right? The pressure is just completely off, and I wasn't able to keep him in the position that I needed to. So what we're gonna do instead, and what Rousimar was really good at, was he would actually take a figure 4 on the outside of the hip. This makes it harder for Juice to roll. He'll tell you he feels much more encumbered once I bring my hips up off the ground, and then I'm locking this down and splaying my legs. Once I splay my legs, I have the heel hook grip, but the heel hook grip is not used for anything other than not allowing him to bring his leg back down. So when I get here, the knee is now in my hip. And when I hold this, I'm just holding this, I'm splaying my legs and I'm arching my back into his knee for the tap. If Juice wanted to go back this way, like he could if I just had a knee bar, so if I was here, he could turn over back this way, and he could actually take his knee off of my hip and stop me from getting the lock. But with the heel knee bar, if he goes back in the opposite direction, he puts the original pressure of the outside Ashi heel hook back onto him. So when I'm here, I'm catching, let's say we start from the top, I'm catching a heel hook. I catch a heel hook, he straightens his leg, something was wrong with my ashigarami, he's turning, and now I go to this. I can't break with a regular heel hook anymore, so I'm just holding it. But if Juice wants to go back in the direction to take the pressure off the knee bar, he goes back this way, he goes right back into the heel hook, where I can start to break I can break belly down again. So when he goes up and he turns in this direction, he can't actually go back because of this. He can feel there's still tension on it. So he's gonna stay in this position. I bring my legs up, splay them, and start to finish by pulling down and lifting my hips up off the ground. Now, what he could do is still try to continue to roll. This leg will usually catch the back step a little bit to make it slower. And then once we get to the other side, I'm gonna be laying on my right rib cage, and it's gonna actually be an even stronger lock, because now I don't actually have the floor limiting how far back I can go. I can start to bridge completely convex, right? So when he goes and starts turning, I stay here, and now I'm rolling, and I get even harder breaks because I have more range of motion. Instead of trying to break like this, where my back is limited by the ground, I'm breaking like this, where I can go.
So here we have Rousimar against John Fitch, looking for heel exposure. He's got an outside Ashi. He's reaping over, trying to get the heel exposure. The leg is becoming too straight, but he's unable to figure for his legs because John's holding them. So he's kind of waiting out the position. He throws his leg back over, uses a reap to get the heel exposure again, is able to pull at the knee tendons, get the heels exposure. The leg is straight though, so he locks the figure 4, goes in for the heel knee bar. He's on the ground, but he pulls so hard, he goes all the way to his side, gets full range of motion, and doesn't let go.
So we'll show this from a different angle. Right here. So again, it could be from kneeling. It doesn't really matter. It could be from standing when they fall down. It could be wherever. It just has to be from an outside heel hook, basically. So we get an outside heel hook. He turns. He ruins my angle. So I go to the heel knee bar. I bring a figure 4 across his legs. I splay my knees. I bring my hips up off the ground, and I finish here. If Juice keeps trying to roll, he stays here. Now I can hold him with this leg a little bit to keep him from rolling all the way through, and I start breaking here. And we have incredible range of motion. If for whatever reason he continues to roll through and I lose that, I just hold on to the toes, and now we have the tombstone grip. So I'm holding on to this grip. He can't rotate any further than this because his toes can't rotate. Try to turn that way more. He can't. The toes are at the end of the lever and he can't turn that way anymore. Now we just hold it here and we sit up and we're in a cross.
There's another slick entry by Rousimar. He does a double leg, falls back for double inside position into an outside Ashi entry. The leg is straight almost immediately, so he catches the heel knee bar very quickly. He's already belly down with it. He's on his side. The guy rotates due to pain, tries to go belly up, still too much pain, falls down due to the pain to the left side, and he completely breaks him.
So this series is not only extremely valuable and innovative, but it was one of the favorite techniques of possibly the most violent man to ever enter combat sports. I hope you guys like it. Check out some of the clips and let me know what you think.